St. Mercy's Convent stood on a windswept cliff, gray stone, cold and imposing. Centuries old, its shadow stretched long with the setting sun. Inside, silence reigned, a heavy, watchful silence. The air itself felt old, thick with the weight of whispered prayers and forgotten sins. This was Sister Evelyn's home now. Sister Agnes, they called her, a legend whispered in hushed tones. She broke a sacred vow, they said, a forbidden love. Her punishment, sealed within the convent walls. Her voice silenced forever. Some said her cries could still be heard, a mournful echo in the dead of night. Sister Evelyn dismissed these stories, superstitions, nothing more. But doubt crept in like the cold drafts that seemed to seep through every crack and crevice of the old convent. The air was thick with an unsettling chill, and the wooden doors groaned as if burdened by the weight of untold secrets. Whispers seemed to follow Sister Evelyn wherever she went. They were faint, almost imperceptible, but always there, lurking just beyond the edge of hearing. The shadows on the walls seemed to dance and shift, as if alive with a malevolent intent. Books moved on their shelves as if guided by unseen hands. A chill in the air, always near the chapel, made the hairs on the back of her neck stand on end. The mist that clung to the floor seemed to whisper secrets of its own. One night she heard it, a soft sob carried on the wind, so faint it could have been mistaken for the rustling of leaves. But Sister Evelyn knew better. She felt the sorrow in that cry, a sorrow that resonated deep within her soul. It came from behind the altar, a hidden door concealed by shadow that she had never noticed before. The door creaked open slowly, revealing a darkness that seemed to swallow the light. Fear, cold and sharp, pierced Sister Evelyn's heart. Her breath came in short gasps, each one visible in the frigid air. She clutched her chest, feeling the icy grip of terror tighten around her. This was no superstition. St. Mercy's held a dark secret, a secret that had been buried for generations. The walls of the convent seemed to close in around her, as if trying to keep her from uncovering the truth. But Sister Evelyn was determined. She would not rest until she had uncovered the mystery that haunted these halls. Driven by a need to understand, Sister Evelyn searched for answers. She spent countless hours in the dimly lit archives, surrounded by the scent of aged paper and the weight of history. Each book she touched seemed to whisper secrets of the past, urging her to uncover the truth. The convent archives, dusty and forgotten, held the key. These shelves, long neglected, were a treasure trove of hidden stories and untold mysteries. Sister Evelyn knew that somewhere within these walls lay the answers she sought. A hidden journal, its pages brittle with time, caught her eye. The leather cover was worn, and the pages inside were fragile, but it was clear this journal held something significant. She carefully opened it, her heart racing with anticipation. Sister Agnes's words, filled with longing and despair, leapt off the pages. Each entry was a window into her soul, revealing her deepest emotions and hidden sorrows. The pain and passion in her writing were palpable. She wrote of her love, a forbidden passion for a young priest. Then, the final entry. It was a heart-wrenching confession, a tale of love that could never be, and the torment it brought her. The words were raw and filled with emotion, a desperate plea for forgiveness. Sister Agnes's final words were a cry for redemption, a hope that her soul could find peace despite the forbidden love she harbored. Her anguish was evident in every stroke of the pen. A map, drawn with trembling hand, revealed the location of the sealed chamber. This map was the final piece of the puzzle, guiding Sister Evelyn to a place long forgotten, where the secrets of the past awaited discovery. The air grew heavy as Sister Evelyn unsealed the chamber. The ancient wooden door creaked open, revealing a passage that had been untouched for centuries. Dust particles danced in the dim light, and the atmosphere was thick with an eerie silence. The scent of decay, thick and cloying, filled her nostrils. It was as if the very walls were exhaling the breath of ages past, a reminder of the forgotten souls that once roamed these halls. Inside, a small, dark space awaited her. Cobwebs hung like ghostly drapes, and the air was cold, almost biting. The chamber seemed to whisper secrets of its own, secrets that had been buried for far too long. And there she was, Sister Agnes. Her skeletal form, still clad in a nun's habit, lay undisturbed. The sight was both haunting and mesmerizing, a testament to the passage of time and the endurance of faith. Her skeletal form, still clad in a nun's habit, seemed to tell a story of devotion and tragedy. The tattered fabric clung to her bones, a silent witness to her final moments. But her skull, it faced the wrong way, twisted at an unnatural angle. It was a chilling sight, suggesting a violent end, a struggle that had left its mark even in death. In her bony hand, a scrap of parchment. The paper was old, fragile, and covered in faded ink. It seemed to pulse with a life of its own, as if eager to share its secrets. Sister Evelyn reached for it, her heart pounding in her chest. The air seemed to grow colder and the shadows deepened as her fingers inched closer to the ancient document. As her fingers brushed against the paper, a voice echoed through the chamber. It was not a whisper, but a guttural scream that seemed to come from the very walls themselves. Not a whisper, but a guttural scream. The sound was filled with anguish, a cry that had been trapped for centuries, now finally released. Sister Agnes's voice filled with centuries of pain and rage. It was a sound that spoke of betrayal, of suffering, and of a desire for justice that had never been fulfilled. The walls seemed to vibrate, the stone floor trembling beneath Sister Evelyn's feet. It was as if the very foundation of St. Mercy's was reacting to the long-buried truth now coming to light. St. Mercy's had kept its secret for too long. The ancient monastery, with its hidden chambers and forgotten histories, was finally revealing its darkest chapter. And now, the Silent Nun would finally be heard. Her story, her suffering, and her truth would no longer be confined to the shadows.